Amid the heightened tensions of the Cold War, the U.S. Pueblo incident emerged as a flashpoint between the United States and North Korea. This article serves as a documentary-style exploration of the U.S. Pueblo incident, unfolding the events that led to the capture of the American naval vessel, the challenges faced by its crew, and the diplomatic fallout that ensued during the Cold War era. Part 1. The U.S. Pueblo Mission. In January 1968, the U.S. Pueblo, a U.S. Navy intelligence ship, embarked on a mission to gather electronic intelligence off the coast of North Korea. The ship's purpose was to monitor and collect data on North Korean naval and missile activities in the Sea of Japan. The Cold War backdrop intensified the sensitivity of such missions as both superpowers engaged in surveillance and intelligence gathering. Part 2. Capture by North Korea. On January 23, 1968, the U.S. Pueblo found itself surrounded by North Korean naval vessels and aircraft in international waters. Despite attempts to resist the North Korean forces, the Pueblo was seized by the Korean People's Navy. One crew member was killed during the capture, and 82 others, including Captain Lloyd M. Butcher, were taken prisoner. Part 3. Crew Endurance and Treatment. The documentary-style narrative explores the harrowing experiences of the U.S. Pueblo crew during their captivity. The crew endured harsh conditions, including physical and psychological mistreatment. The North Korean government accused the U.S. of spying and propaganda efforts, heightening the diplomatic standoff. Part 4. Propaganda and International Response. While the crew of the U.S. Pueblo faced captivity, North Korea launched a propaganda campaign. The ship was showcased as a trophy of North Korean military prowess, and confessions were coerced from the crew in staged press conferences. The incident triggered an international crisis, with the United States demanding the release of the crew and the return of the ship. Part 5. Diplomatic Negotiations. The Cold War documentary examines the diplomatic negotiations that unfolded between the United States and North Korea. Talks took place at the United Nations, and a key element was the acknowledgement or denial of wrongdoing by the U.S. The negotiations were protracted, and tensions escalated as both sides sought to assert their positions amid the broader context of Cold War geopolitics. Part 6. The Release and Aftermath. After nearly a year in captivity, the crew of the U.S. Pueblo was released on December 23, 1968. The release followed negotiations and an apology by the U.S., which maintained that the ship was in international waters at the time of capture. The Pueblo itself, however, remains in North Korean possession to this day, serving as a museum in Pyongyang. Part 7. Legacy and Impact. The U.S. Pueblo incident left a lasting impact on U.S.-North Korean relations and Cold War dynamics. The incident highlighted the vulnerability of intelligence vessels operating near hostile territories and underscored the risks associated with surveillance missions. The Pueblo incident also added complexity to the ongoing challenges of diplomatic engagement with North Korea. Conclusion. The U.S. Pueblo incident, captured in this documentary-style narrative, stands as a vivid testament to the tensions and complexities of the Cold War. The capture of an American naval vessel, the mistreatment of its crew, and the subsequent diplomatic negotiations underscored the fragility of international relations during this era. The U.S. Pueblo incident remains a poignant chapter in Cold War history, embodying the precarious nature of military and intelligence operations in the midst of ideological and geopolitical rivalries.